Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you both for your service. Chairman Dempsey, the Russian president said, I think a couple of days ago, that if he thought hurting U.S.-Russian relationships would be a consequence of granting Snowden asylum, he wouldn't do it. What would your advice be to the Russian president about granting Snowden asylum?
I think that there would be consequences across all of our relationships, military, economic.
It would be damaging and not do it. Would that be your advice?
I think it would be, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. The Prime Minister of Israel was on national television on the Face of the Nation Sunday, and he said the following things about Iran. There's a new president in Iran. He believes he's criticizing his predecessor for being a wolf in wolf's clothing. His strategy is be a wolf in sheep's clothing, smile and build a bomb. Admiral Winfield, do you agree with that analysis?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I certainly would agree that we're looking for the elusive...
Is there any doubt in your mind that this guy is actually a moderate?
We're looking for the elusive Iranian moderate, as Secretary
Now, my
Gates
question to you, and this will determine how I vote for you.
Yeah.
Do you believe the current president of Iran is a moderate?
He doesn't have a history of being a moderate, no, sir.
So I'll take that as no. The United States should ratchet up the sanctions and make it clear to Iran that they won't get away with it. And if sanctions don't work, then they have to know that you'll be prepared, us, the United States, to take military action. That's the only thing that will get their attention. Do you agree with the Israeli Prime Minister about the threat of military force against the Iranian nuclear program? Maybe the only thing to get their attention. Admiral Dempsey. Excuse me, General Dempsey. Sorry.
That's been our approach all along, sir, so
okay,
yes.
Great. So we're all on the same sheet of paper there, that if they don't believe we're going to hit them, they're going to move. Here's what he said about all the problems in the Mideast, summed up this way. All the problems that we have, however important, will be dwarfed by this messianistic, apocalyptic, extreme regime that would have an atomic bomb. It would make a terrible, a catastrophic change for the world and for the United States. Do you agree with his assessment of how important it is not to allow the Iranians to get a nuclear weapon?
I do, and that's what we've said.
Great. All right. Now, as to Afghanistan, the current commander suggested that a 12,000-member force, two-thirds being U.S., the other 4,000 being NATO, not counting American Special Forces troops, soft capability, would be a reasonable number to leave behind in terms of a follow-on force. Does that make sense to you? Is he in the ballpark? Does that make sense?
He is, and we've said so at NATO in various sessions.
Thank you very much. That's encouraging. Do you agree with me that it would be a wise investment to keep the Afghan Army at 352,000 at least for a few more years rather than draw them down to 232?
I do.
Thank you. Syria. Could Syria, is Assad winning?
Currently, the tide seems to have shifted in his favor.
You agree with that, Admiral Winfield?
I'd say specifically the tide has shifted in his favor in the central and western part of the country. It's very fragile in the north, and they're hanging in there.
Is he winning overall or not?
I think if I were to have to pick who's winning, it would be the regime, but not by much right now.
Okay, well, let's... All right, so the regime is winning, but not by much. Could they be winning without Russia's help?
I think the most important help they're getting, sir, is Iranian and Hezbollah, and so I don't know whether Russia's help is vital, but it's certainly helping them. No
well, General Dempsey, how would you evaluate the significance of Russia's help to Assad?
Through their foreign military sales, they are arming.
Let's put it this way. If the Russians said, we want you gone tomorrow, would it matter to Assad?
Absolutely.
It would be a game changer, wouldn't it, Admiral Winfield?
I certainly do, but, you know, Assad is, he's going to fight to the death, I think.
Do you agree with me that if Russia said to Assad, we no longer support you, it would be the ultimate game changer?
It would be a very important game changer.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Do you see Russia doing that?
No, sir.
Okay. If he stays versus him going, what's the most catastrophic outcome for us? If he wins over time and he doesn't leave versus having to deal with the fact that we kicked him out because we said he had to go? What's worse for us? Him staying or going?
Well, we've said that it is the nation's policy that Assad must go.
So that means it's worse for us for him to stay and we not be able to achieve our policy. Do you agree with that?
That's my interpretation.
Okay. You agree with that, Admiral Winfield?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Will he be in power next year if nothing changes? Your best military advice, if we keep just where we're at, Iran's helping him, do you agree they're all in and helping Assad?
I do.
Do you agree that Hezbollah is helping Assad?
Absolutely.
Do you agree that Russia is helping Assad?
Yes.
If nothing changes, if we don't change our game, will he be in power a year from now?
I think likely so.
Okay. What would that mean for the King of Jordan? Will he be in power a year from now?
As I've said, I've met with him, and he's concerned that the demographics in his nation.
Right, you're dead right. He told me he didn't think he'd be here another year because there'd be 1 million Syrian refugees and it's destabilizing Jordan. Do you agree with that?
That's his concern. That's
Okay.
right.
What would that mean for the region and us if the King of Jordan is gone a year from now and Assad's in power a year from now? Would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
He's a strong ally. It'd be a bad thing.
It'd be a horrible thing for the Mideast, wouldn't it?
Yes.
If this war in Syria keeps going on and Assad's still in power a year from now, what effect would it have on Iraq?
It's already destabilizing Western Iraq.
Iraq would just begin to fall apart at a faster rate. Do you agree with that? Because it's destabilizing the country.
That would certainly be a possible scenario.
From the Israelis' point of view, the likelihood of Hezbollah getting Russian-made advanced weapons, if he's still in power a year from now, does that go up or down?
From the Israeli standpoint,
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. From Israel's standpoint, one of the worst nightmares for them, short of an Iranian nuclear weapon, would be Hezbollah getting advanced weapons sold to Assad by Russia, and that likelihood would go up if he's still in power a year from now?
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk the second round about sequestration. Thank you both for your answers.